What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Keep It Hoop YouTube channel. So this morning I was scrolling through my social media, and as I do almost every Monday, I see a lot of posts about MJ, and that's because of the hashtag MJMondays, right? So I follow a lot of basketball pages, and every Monday a lot of pages just post whether it's highlights, stories, things about his shoes, arguments, just anything, a lot of things MJ related, right? Pictures, videos, all that. And it creates a lot of engagement. So I'm not surprised, right? Because MJ is always going to be not, I wouldn't say a hot topic, but people are always going to have a lot of engagement around MJ related posts, likes, shares, comments, arguments, discussions, all of that, right? And then I thought to myself, like, what, like, because I look back at some of the content I've made so far, and as we've tried to grow this page, I do appreciate all the support, and I know a few of you guys have stuck up with me and the page, from its conception years back. So I appreciate that. But a lot of our content has been based on current players, and we've done stuff like breakdowns on individual players, certain teams, even certain plays we've broken down on Instagram and stuff and Twitter. We've talked about college players and through our all of our content, really, including articles and podcasts and stuff. We haven't really spoken about past players, and that is something I've always wanted to do. And I do know that talking about the difference in today's game and the game back then is kind of almost an overused topic at this point. So I don't want to get too much into that, but I did want to give my opinion a little bit about just some of the things the Bulls and Jordan did. My opinions on the difference of the game. I won't go too far into it because I know again that it is something that's been kind of overdone. And I don't know if MJ Mondays, this whole Jordan videos or content on Mondays becomes a mainstay, if it becomes a trend for us here. But it is something I wanted to kind of do. If it does well, then maybe we'll do more. But yeah, we'll see. Before we get started, though, if you guys could hit the subscribe button, like, share, comment, it'd mean a lot. Follow our social media pages. Links will be in the description below. But yeah, let's get started. So this is, I didn't have any game or anything in mind really what to do. I was kind of just scrolling through Jordan videos, and Jordan had his share of good games against the Knicks. This happened to be one of them. 93 Eastern Conference Finals Game 4, as it says on the screen. Jordan scores 54 against the Knicks. I said, why not, right? Just another video. Not on the Knicks this time, but against the Knicks. But I thought it'd be fun. So yeah, let's get started. So right off the bat, you can see the spacing on the court. Very different from what we see today. And I mean, no one's at the 3-point line. BG Armstrong right here at the top. He's our best 3-point shooter on the court, and he's not even at the line. Ideally, you want him out there to create space for Jordan. And you see the Knicks defense, 3 guys in the paint pretty much. And they had just set a screen and roll, a pick and roll for Jordan at the mid post, which is something you don't even see a lot of in today's game. But that Knicks defense, led by Pat Riley and anchored by Patrick Ewing, along with Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley. I mean, that's a very physical defense. They play 3 bigs. They'd also defend like this as part of their strategy. They wanted to clog the paint, really make Michael more of a shooter. And not that he couldn't shoot, obviously, but you still live with him taking contested jump shots over John Starks. And you'd rather have that than him getting to the paint and getting what he wants. Hopefully, even if he drives, you clog the paint. You foul him hard, which was allowed back then, unlike today, or you make him kick it out, and you live with PJ Armstrong and Grant, or not Grant, but Pippen. Try to beat you, and they did sometimes, but which is what made the Bulls so good, because they did have other guys. But right here, you see him rise, getting to his spot, and Jordan loved that elbow mid range. When you go up against a great player at a certain point, like John Starks was known as one of the better defenders, especially at that shooting guard position. And his defense here isn't even that bad, but once an offensive player gets to his spot, especially at the NBA level, you kind of just have to hope that he misses. It's very difficult to stop a guy once he can get to his spot, because that's a shot that Jordan's practiced thousands and thousands of times. One thing that I did notice though when going over this, and this is a thing that you're gonna notice with all the best, offensive players, regardless of generation. Obviously, you can't just shove someone to the ground, but all great offensive players use this offhand very well, and Jordan is no different. There's different ways to do it, right? You can shove him a bit, and create space that way. Sometimes, in kind of what Jordan did against Brian Russell for the last shot against Utah, was you use a player's movement and momentum against them to make them off balance and maybe keep them going a certain way while you can pop up or step back, and then just creating a way to protect the ball as well. But if you watch any great scorer, even today's era, the use of the offhand is very important. James Harden's really good at it. Kyrie, KD, Steph, they're all really good at it. But he does it here. And again, just creates that little momentum shift, enough time and space for him to rise up and shoot. Especially with his high relay, super hard to stop. So this is just a quick hitting offensive play, right? They set a screen here. Horace Grant's there. Jordan gets it at the top, and then they rescreen, right? And then they hedge it hard. Pretty bad defense by Oakley here. Horace Grant does a nice job of slipping the screen, right? And then Patrick Ewing can't come up and help all the way, at least not quickly enough. And then Grant ends up taking a pretty well contested shot, but a nice shot nonetheless. That's a shot you don't even see a lot of guys take nowadays. When's the last time you can remember, a shooting guard or a guard running a pick and roll with a big, and then the roll, instead of just rim running, stopping at the elbow and hitting a jump shot? It doesn't happen as much anymore. Pick and pops, certainly, it still happens a little bit. And guys like AD and LaMarcus Aldridge, come to mind. Joel Embiid, they still do it, but that shot definitely isn't as prevalent. And for those of you, look, I know Jordan's 3-point shot was probably the weakest part of his offense, and he wasn't great, but he could make them, right? I think some people are under the notion that he couldn't shoot threes. When he didn't take a lot, right, and nobody really did at that time, but I think what a lot of people do talk about though is that Jordan could probably become a good 3-point shooter in today's generation because of his work ethic, because he had no other weaknesses in his game, and 3-pointer was like, again, we say his weakness because he was great at everything else, but like, he could not knock him down, and it's something that I think I mean, I'm with that school of thought as well, where that if he played in today's era and he felt the need to implement shooting threes more, that he'd be able to do it. Because every other weakness he's ever had in his game, he was able to improve to an elite level. But yeah, I mean, showed whether it's catch and shoot, pull up threes, that he could make them. This play right here made me laugh a little because, all right, so you're gonna see him kick it out and then get it right back, right? This just doesn't happen anymore. Even if this was a center in today's league, right? Like, most guys aren't stepping back in, right? They're going to step back and catch it at the 3-point line. Or even if they catch it here, they're going to take a step to the side get to the elbow 3-point line, or take a step back and shoot that three. But um, yeah, that the catch and shoot at the elbow for a guard just doesn't really happen anymore. All the elite scorers in the league have the mid range in their arsenal. Damian Lillard, Steph, KD, Kyrie, even a guy like LeBron, Paul George, you name it, like CJ McCollum, James Harden. All these guys can shoot the mid range. And it's still a very important part of your game to have. Maybe people don't shoot it as often. Maybe it's not the shot you look for all the time, but you still have to be able to make it if you want to be a great scorer. You want to be able to score at the 3-point line. You want to be able to score at the mid range, and then you want to be able to finish at the basket, right? 3 levels of scoring. You want to be able to do all of them. And if you have one aspect of that you can't do, it's going to, hold you back as a scorer. I'm going to let this run in a second, but Kevin Durant is really good at this, just driving hard and then pulling up. And again, all the other guys that I listed can do this as well. But KD's great at this. Kawhi's good at well, but just driving and then just pulling up, which is hard, right? You're going left, and then just stopping on a dime and rising for a jump shot. But You know, I mean, you guys are gonna play you for the drive, and you know, once you get that head of steam, you're gonna, if you have that in your arsenal and being able to hit that jump shot, it opens up so many things. And I say Jordan almost had no weakness, pretty much, because you're gonna see in this play here the ability to not only just the IQ, but I mean, this is just a great play to begin with, right? They know that Starks is on Jordan, but Jordan, he's having a good game. He's stronger and he's bigger than Starks. So what they do is they bring really just three out, right? You have the inbounder and then three out, and then Jordan has pretty much the whole half court to play one on one with Starks. Um, Starks gets caught fronting, which is bad because he doesn't help behind him because this guy has to stick with Horace Grant. Um, and that leads to Jordan, right, using his strength and really just the ability to seal him. Very good pass, by the way, very good pass, and then finished by Jordan. But again, like how many guards do you know today that can, you know, use their physical ability and then just IQ to pin someone off an inbound like that? We just don't see that a lot. But that's what made Jordan so good, right? It wasn't just it was the IQ, but also his versatility. But I mean, you also see the physical dominance of Jordan. I think Jordan's obviously known for his leaping ability, Air Jordan, all that, the dunk highlights and all that. But he's a strong guy, especially after those Pistons series. I mean, he was lean, but he's a really strong guy. Could finish well and take the physical beating. And right there, you just use his strength and size over Starks to seal him. And just again, great pass, but it's hard to stop. But good offense by Phil Jackson to have that 4-out system right there. Again, this is tough, but I mean, look at the footwork, the hezzy, and then shot clock winding down. Again, he can make the three, and if he's hitting those, I mean, there's nothing you can do. That's when he's going out for the 54s, right? Another thing that I noticed with him is he's super just efficient with his moves. Has good footwork here, and then creates the angle that he knows he can get past Starks, right? Because right before he goes, he has his you know, he hesitates going his right, and then Starks has to play on that side a little bit, which gives him the opening to go. But Jordan didn't do a lot of the. I mean, not a lot of players back then did, but especially Jordan didn't do a lot of the, you know, bring it out, go ISO, dribble 9 times. Maybe, you know, you don't get as many ankle breakers or, you know, crazy highlights with your handles that way, but I think sometimes players get too caught up in trying to have a highlight or trying to have the perfect move, and you end up wasting 8 seconds from the shot clock, or you take 9 dribbles and you wear yourself out. I remember when I was trying out to play professionally in Japan, we'd play ones half court, and you got 3 or 4 dribbles, 5 max, but it was usually 3 or 4. Because if you can really score on someone with 3 or 4 dribbles, then you're really training yourself to be efficient with your moves. You know, you can't go, you know, you can't pull the ball out and then go ISO and then just, you know, through the leg 12 times and then in and out, you know, step back, pump fake until something works. You really just have to be efficient with your moves, and that means, you know, using your footwork, using hezzies, using pump fakes, head fakes, and really just being efficient with your moves. And Jordan obviously perfected that as well. And you can see here he doesn't make the shot, gets fouled, but is again able to get past his man. Usually just off of footwork and you know, explosiveness. You're gonna see the use of the offhand again. Jordan swats away Starks' hand. Starks goes a little off balance, and that's all it takes. And Jordan, one dribble pull up, it's automatic at that point. Kobe was really good at this as well, but just using that pump fake once you get to that mid range, because all the defenders know that's a shot you can make and want to take, right? So he goes here, simple pump fake, and just look at how wide open the shot is. Like when he goes up, this is a practice shot. Like this is a shot you take in warm ups. This is a shot you take, you know, when you first get on the gym. Like there's 3 guys in the paint waiting for Jordan, but he, you know, stops on a dime, pump fake, gets his, you know, initial defender out of the way, and, you know, a minute 38 in the game, close game in the Eastern Conference Finals, and you get a shot like this in crunch time. But just the patience, the fundamentals, and the wherewithal to get this shot off. Super efficient shot. But yeah, that'll be it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the video. MJ has always been someone I looked up to when I was a basketball player or trying to become a professional basketball player. I watched a lot of his games, a lot of his moves, interviews, and being a huge Kobe fan and having Kobe be my favorite player and the connection between Kobe and MJ, there was just a lot of respect and just a fascination with his game. And I do hope to do this in the future. I think MJ's games and his moves and his moments, there's just so much to nitpick and so much you can learn from. And I do have kind of a personal connection with Jordan just because. So I was introduced to basketball by my grandmother who raised me, and he was her favorite player, and mostly just because of association with Jordan being the guy in basketball. She didn't know a lot about basketball. She We used to watch NBA on NBC a lot. Jordan's game used to be on the most. He was the guy. It's kind of like LeBron now, right? The face of the league, all that. So but yeah, hopefully I can do this, and maybe not just Jordan, but maybe we can look into some 80s and 90s basketball in general. I do like and miss aspects of the game from back then. I do the physicality and the defense. Obviously, we don't have as much of today, and I don't want to sound like one of those grumpy, old, stubborn old guys who thinks the league today is trash. Like I think the league today has its own place and it's different. And I think that's the best way you can describe it. There's parts of the game that are funner to watch now, and parts of the game that was better back then. But that being said, again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned. We'll have more stuff coming up later this week. Pretty much every day through Friday, we'll have either a podcast, article, or another video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. And if you could follow our social media pages, links will be in the description. Greatly appreciate that as well. But yeah, thanks again, and we'll see you guys again soon. Peace.